Well, hello. Welcome to Monologue Mondays with Marcus Woods, and it's going to be a great time. This is episode 4 of season 1, and I'm excited that we're kicking it off and we're having a good time. Instagram is live with us. How y'all doing, Instagram? We love to have y'all. Keep tapping in. We are not steering away from y'all doing monologues. We just going a different route. So rock with us this season. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. A lot of exciting things happened over the weekend. I'm not going to bore y'all too much, but I had a play. It was a good time. The play was amazing. Call Me Daddy. The people that were there actually ran into some of the viewers at the play, so it was a really good time. And 2 shows, knocked it out. It was great. New movie just dropped Friday, The Divorce Lawyer. You check it out. It's on Tubi. Amazing film. It looks good. It sounds good, and I know you'll enjoy it. And then y'all tag me and let me know if you don't like it or if you do like it. Also, moving forward, do not forget, start adding in your questions and everything in. DM me and let me know what's going on so I can start answering those questions while we're on this podcast. I would love to really start talking with you all and really getting what y'all want. So we're going to do that real soon. But today is today. Monologue Mondays with Marcus Woods. We're here. I'm excited. I have one of my favorite people. And not just because of what they do for me, but he's one of my favorite people. I want you to put your hands together for my manager, Mr. Bennie Taylor.
Boo, boo for me.
No booing.
How y'all doing it, right?
What's going on, man?
Hey, brother. You all right?
I'm good, man. You a busy guy.
I'm trying.
You're doing because you didn't have to be here. And you came, I called you, I reached out, and you was like, let's rock, and I appreciate you for doing it.
No, when Marcus Woods asks for something, Marcus Woods get what he wants.
He always say both my names. My full name is always Marcus Woods. He just never say Marcus. But no, I do appreciate you coming, man. It's good. We got a lot to talk about.
A lot.
And I really want the people to know who you are and what you do and how you helped my career thus far and moving forward. Like I always tell Benny, I say, Benny, he said, we're going to rock together. And, if more people come and you want to switch up and go higher or whatever, I said, man, we rock until the wheels fall off. And after the wheels fall off, we buy new tires and we get right back to it. So that's what we do. Yes, so I don't ever want to change management. You my guy. So but with that being said, man, Benny, tell them about yourself. Tell them about the company. Tell them about everything. Just introduce yourself to them.
Hello, everyone. A lot of cameras. My name is Bennie Taylor. I'm owner of John Thomas Talent and John Thomas Productions. John Thomas Talent is a talent management company, and John Thomas Production is a company up John Thomas Talent, which we specialize in video auditions, audio recording, sometimes ADR work, and coaching for actors on upcoming auditions.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Just a manager and everything, man. I learned so much from you in this short amount of time.
Stop it.
And it's crazy, and we're gonna get into it. And I got some topics. I promise you, I'm gonna give y'all these topics, but I can't go further really without just talking to you about a lot of different things, man. And I want to talk about how we met, like how we actually met. So I'm he don't remember everything, so I'm gonna start it off. I was on this set for this film. I can't actually remember the name of the film right now. It never came out, but they did pay me, so I am happy.
Okay.
And one of your actors was on set. And I can shout him out, Mike Alexander. I love Mike. And Mike was on set. You came on set to check on him. And I thought, I said, this is dope. His manager showed up on set. I said, this is crazy. And I was like, you know what? I don't got an agent. I don't have a manager. I'm making my move. I'm shooting my shot. I walk right up to you. You know what I'm saying? You were sitting there looking, big and cock diesel. And I walked up to you and I said, hey, I had heard about you. So I actually see you on set. I said, hey, my name is Marcus Woods. I'm an actor and I'm just looking for representation. And like, this was my moment, right? And you looked dead in my eyes.
There you go.
And you said, oh, you don't need me. You're already booking. And I was like, all right. I said, cool. He's a cool guy. I said, why did he say anything? And then you walked off and you went back and checked on Mike. And he was like, Mike, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. He's all right, I'm out. I'm like, dang, he is not here for me. And I was like, okay, cool. We were at another event. I think it was some type of acting event or something was going on.
Villain art.
And I saw you again. And I said, no, this time I'm going to talk to this guy and he's going to book with me. I walked up to you and I said, hey, what's going on, Benny? It's me again, Mark. He's like, I remember you. And this time you gave me a card. And I was like, okay, cool. He gave me a card. And I was like, man, this is what I do. I'm passionate, blah, 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 blah. And you was like, okay, can you do any accents? And I was like, what does that got to do with anything? And you said, and I was like, yeah, I can do an accent. I said, I think I do a decent African. And he was like, do it. I was like, oh, shoot, on the spot. And I don't remember what I did, but I just would start talking all crazy and doing all this stuff. And he was like, okay, that's pretty good. Well, all I want you to do is send me all this information on this card. And do you have a demo reel? At the time, didn't know what it was.
Right.
And I was like, nah, I don't have a demo reel. All right, don't come to me till you got a demo reel. That's what you told me. And I walked away and never heard from you again.
He did hear from me again, so that's
Obviously,
why we're here. So
eventually.
stop it. All right, this is a whole villain arc right now.
Yeah,
so
man.
Everybody looking at me. I'm not the bad guy.
No,
all right,
he's not.
So
It's a businessman.
when a manager is on set with their client, you get approached by a lot of actors at the same time. It's not the fact that we are ignoring you or we're brushing people off, but we're there for our client at the time. So I knew of you. And I did hear you, but my main concern was to go back to make sure the client was taken care of.
Yeah.
So the second time,
Tell about the second time.
oh man, okay, look, I didn't. People, I am not a bad guy. I'm just trying to put it out there like that. He did his thing. When he did the accent, it was actually good. It was really, really good. But I had other things I had to take care of, and after that, Marcus was on my radar. Before that, Marcus was on my radar. The thing is that you have to learn how to talk to people, and you have to let them know that you're not ready yet. I mean, it's coming. I see you, but just get yourself ready. And a lot of times, reps do that to make sure that you're taking care of stuff on your end as well, too. Because if I tell you to go learn something and send it to me, or learn this monologue and send it to me, most people don't take that extra mile.
Right.
So what you showed was that diligence is to get out there and do it. And that's the really impressive thing. I mean, despite all the stuff you've done on film, your acting speaks for itself, but it's the stuff that you do behind the scenes that really would impress somebody. And after I saw your work ethic, I'm like, this guy, he's JTT material.
Oh, I love it.
So it was kind of one of them Joker stories. I'm surprised he didn't come back and take me. See, we're on a live show.
Yeah, we're on a live show.
Y'all seen Joker? Then I'm kind of worried right now.
No, we good. So, but that's what it was, man. And that's what I took it as. I didn't take every no as like, he's never going to work with me.
Right.
It was like, well, clearly I got to go back and do something to make this guy really see that I'm serious. And I know it was 2019, right after Empire had came out. Mm-hmm. And I remember I shot you the scene, shot you my resume, shot you my headshot, and my demo reel. Mm-hmm. And I remember in the DM, when he doesn't operate in DMs no more, don't do that. But in the DMs, I sent all that stuff, and you was the next thing you sent back was, I was waiting on you. So I was like, okay, so he wanted to work with me. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to see how bad I was going to go do what I had to do. Yeah. And so that's how I took it, man. So, but at the time, I was like, why you keep dodging me? He going to realize I'm the next best thing since sliced bread, and you going to get with me. So, but I've learned so much. Yeah. And I guess that kind of goes into my first kind of tip that I want to give, talk to everybody about, is talking about material. You talked about me doing the work and everything. And the first one is build and showcase professional material.
Yes.
And that's what I was doing, because you said I was already on your radar. You know what I mean? But that means I had material for you to go look at.
Exactly.
And a lot of actors don't realize that. They think because they've done a play here and one commercial there, which that is still material. Correct. But if you're not pushing it and putting it out there, how are you supposed to find that type of talent? You know what I'm saying? Right. So what would you recommend for beginning actors, even though they might have been in a bunch of different things, but it's like not out there? What do you recommend for them to get that type of material out to management or agents, any type of representation?
First thing I would recommend to new actors is do your research. Do your research on what you have to do. You can't just, and I get this a lot, respectfully, people come to me, hey, I need a manager. That's good. Okay, so what do you need a manager for? I like acting. Oh, that's good. No, but invest in yourself. Most people, when I get these submissions, I mean, it's a iPhone taking a hit. What do you call it? Selfie.
Yeah, selfie.
with a YouTube video of somebody sitting in the basement like it was recorded on the VHS.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, I want to act." And I try to tell people, okay, get a decent headshot.
Yeah.
If you can't do a demo reel, if you don't have any material, do a monologue.
Monologue Mondays, people.
Okay, give a nice monologue. Go to a place and record it with a good background, sound, lighting, and invest in yourself. Because if I see that you didn't invest in yourself, why am I going to invest in you?
Ooh, that's heavy.
So I mean, you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I wouldn't say strung you along, but I had to let you know. I had to give you the 5 daily venoms test. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
First you take toes, and now you're scorpion. No, but I had to put you on that path. Like, okay, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't want people chasing me. I just want you to come with me with stuff that's ready. Be ready.
It makes so much sense because I feel like people don't know how much really goes into this.
Oh my God.
They show up and they say, like you said, I want to be an actor because I like acting. My mom said I was good or whatever, which is fine if that's your starting point.
Right.
But you have to invest. Why would you invest all of your resources, all of your knowledge into somebody who doesn't want to buy a professional headshot?
Yeah.
Those type of things make me wonder, like, why? And it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Your resources, your connections. One of the things that I loved about you was, as soon as we were locked in, resources just opened up, and I was just like, whoa, I didn't even know like terminology and who to go to and who not to go. Like, you gave all of that so willingly because, like you said, you saw that I was willing to invest in myself.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for that, man. I appreciate
you,
that.
man.
Look, so y'all hearing it first. Y'all hearing it first from Bennie, a manager, and so many other things that he's done, and he's been in the business so long, which I want to talk about a little bit real quick.
Here we go.
Tell them how long you've been in entertainment. I don't want to say too much. I want you to kind of talk about it, but the man can sing. And there's a reason why he can sing. And he used to model. Don't let him fool you. I mean, he was on billboards at malls and stuff like that. So tell him a little bit more about that.
Okay, first of all, I'm fat now, so and I didn't look like this as a young man, I started out in the industry coming out of high school. Actually, before high school, I was a male model for Givenchy, Ralph Lauren Polo, and a lot of other places, working with some big names. I'm not gonna put their names out there, but I also was in a singing group, a few singing groups that got signed to major record companies. A lot of bad things happened in that time, though. So I've been off and on in the business. I even had, I'm not gonna say what it is. I booked a major role in a huge series of movies that came out in the 2000s, but I lost it because I broke my arm in the middle of training. I wish I could say what it was, but more power to them people that did it. So yeah, I've been in the business back and forth, but I took a hiatus because I went through a lot of things personally that I had to get over, and then I got back into the business because of a show. Well, God sent me to watch that show, but Entourage.
Yeah. Oh,
Entourage.
That was my show, man. I love Entourage.
Entourage. I was just sitting back and I'm watching this show, and it's supposed to be about Mark Wahlberg and his career. But I was watching E, which is the manager of the actor, and Ari Gold, which is the agent. And I said, I can do that. Yeah. I can do that because I had, my reps were like that back in the day, and it just got me to going like, okay, you've been in front of the camera, you've been everything else, why be behind it? Be behind the desk and see how it work, and boom, I'm here. So it's been a minute. I ain't gonna tell y'all how long because that tell my age.
So if I could ask this, just ballpark of how many people do you represent?
I'm trying to keep it under, I think about 30 now. Okay. 30. Wow. I try to keep it small. Yeah. Small for a reason.
Yeah, I get it. You don't want 6 of me.
Oh, yeah. There is no other Marcus Woods.
I love it. I love it. So, man, that is amazing that, you know what I mean? And like you said, you had your moments, your dark moments, and on one side of the entertainment spectrum. And I love the way you flipped it and you turned it around and turned it into a win, man. That is amazing to me. And people like yourself, you actually care about your talent.
I do.
I'm not saying other management companies and agencies don't care, but I'm saying when I've talked with this brother, I sat with you, we broke bread, and we shared some pretty sad and dark moments together. Like when I lost a really huge role, I don't know if I think I can say the name. Mine was kind of public. It was recent, but I won't say the movie, but I will say the actor. It was a film with Kevin Costner. And you told me this is a big one, Marcus, that my agent called you and you said, let's do it. We met up. You was like, come do the audition with me. And we did it. And it went over really good. I think we did only like 3 or 4 takes.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm gonna rake the whole air with this whole thing. So there was a 4-picture deal going on. Marcus Woods had an audition for a major part in that. And when I tell you this man put his foot in that audition, he put his foot into it. So got the call from the agent. You know, they're looking at Marcus. He's the number 1 choice for this deal. Yeah. But this is not the regular SAG race. This is contract.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mark, you know what's about to happen, right?
I almost wish you didn't tell me the numbers. I got nervous. Like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. And this was shortly after we got together, too.
Yep.
So it was all getting ready to go down. We was waiting for the paperwork, and everything's going to be signed. He was going to ship out to Montana. And maybe I said too much.
Right.
He was going to ship out to Montana, and that was going to be the first one. But right in between that, the studio decided to change the ethnicity of the character.
Yep.
And when I found this news out, it took me almost 24 hours to just how was I going to approach Mark?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was so much he put blood, sweat, and tears into this. How do I break this news to him?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. Most managers, most agents be like, okay, you didn't get it, but they changed the role.
Wait till the next audition.
I care so much because I knew how much you put into it. It was hard to talk about it, and you deserved it. I seen other auditions for it, and hands down, you was like by far away from everybody else. And this didn't mean that he wasn't good enough. It just
circumstances.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
I know people that have been booked on films and they booked them, filmed it, told their family to watch it, and then they cut them out. You know, they not even they edited you out literally. You got to check to prove he was on set. Yep. You got the time sheet, when the show
credits,
up.
Look at the credits.
Yeah, I mean they'll cut you out. It's the nature of the business. Yeah. Did it hurt? Heck yeah. You know, it was tough because I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, mama finna get that car. We up, dad we finna live. Like, you know what I mean? And I knew that would have opened the door.
And let me tell you, the brother would have made 7 figures.
7 figures.
That's how life changing it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and he right. And that's what made me nervous when I seen all the money attached to it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is serious. Like, this is a thing. But to me, we handled it gracefully and we took it. But then right after that, I was working with people who worked on Marvel, and it was like if I would have stopped and cried my river there, I would have missed the next opportunity. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you for that, man. And let me also state, I didn't start getting flued out until I got with Benny. I was driving everywhere on my own merit. and so that is like the benefits though of having, yes, you can control your own career. Yes, you can submit to things yourself, which is a part of one of the tips that I'm going to talk about. Manager and the agent have. It's really, I'm really going to just start kind of, man.
Yeah.
You talk the money, you talk the rates, you talk days on set, you talk is my client going to be fed? Is there a trade? You do all this stuff that I would just go in there and be like, about proactive submitting and networking. Okay. Now, I wasn't a good networker before meeting you. You know what I mean? I would just be like, I'm not going to this event. I'm not doing that. But first of all, I could be honest. I wasn't I knew I was a good actor, but I wasn't a confident actor. You know what I mean? You helped build that confidence. You gave me the confidence to go in and network, and to also do proactive submitting, where you can submit things for yourself. Right. It's now when you have a manager, I could be like, hey, is this something I submit to? How do we submit it? How do we go about it? Like, I still don't sit back and wait. You know what I mean? I still give you something to work with. But how do you feel about that, the proactive submitting and the networking? Tell the actors about how managers look at it, how you manage that.
Yeah, I mean, we do encourage you to submit. If you are represented by an agent or a manager, I mean, submit. Just keep us in the loop about what's going on. If you get that audition, hey, you know, I got an audition for so-and-so, so submit. Okay, so that way, and it goes, another reason why we want to know, say, for instance, you submit yourself to a Batman film, right? Mm-hmm. When did you submit it? You tell me. I look up the studio, I find out who's doing it, and what the manager job is, we take materials and we pitch you to the studio so they can see your auditions. Like, okay, you got the audition. Now what we're doing is putting the studio on notice. Like, hey, Marcus Woods is about to send you an audition for this character, for this role. Look what he's done. This is why he deserved the role. This is this. Here's the material and all this. So it helps out, and it gets the casting director like, okay, I want to see Mark now. So now when you send that audition, it's ready. And then also, if you told us, the agent has already got the paperwork, the deal. Like, okay, this is what we're gonna ask for. This is one. It's just like a whole teamwork thing. So yeah, most definitely submit, but don't submit and go do things and think we're not going to find out, or put yourself in a situation where we have to get you out of it. Because
you had to for me once.
Yeah, people don't understand the word perpetuity.
Tell them.
It's a bad thing.
Tell them. It's a serious thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to call Benny one time to get me out of a situation that I put myself in. You know what I mean? And I want to talk about that. What happens when you're not in the loop? And what's without giving all the details, like what's the dirty work you got to do to get somebody out?
You ever got slapped in the face before?
Figuratively and literally, yeah.
Yeah, that's the feeling. That's the feeling when you have to go in, and especially when somebody sign paperwork. When you sign something and you don't read it, it's hard, because what you're essentially doing is burning a bridge. But that's one of the things we never want to do, is burn a bridge with anybody. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of sitting down. It takes a lot of being nice, promising other things that you may can give on the side. It's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
You know, managers do a lot. Managers and agents do a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things I will not name, but we do a lot for y'all.
Yeah, you do. But it's necessary though. Like, you know what I mean? I handled my career probably about 10 years on my own. You know what I mean? And like I said, it wasn't until I got a manager and an agent and I realized what it really takes. Like, it's a real thing, like a real working thing. But let's go into this next thing.
Right.
Nurture your reps and team and the assistants.
Okay.
You taught me this, and I don't think a lot of actors understand how this really helps. What does it mean to really be like, hey, thank you, man? Like, from your talent, to be like, hey, I appreciate you. Hey, here's a card. Hey, here's an extra something because you were there. What does that do for reps and managers?
It helps you. It motivates you a little bit more. You know, when you go out there and you work 24/7 for somebody, and they book a project, and then they get their payment, and you have to track them down for 3 months to get something. It's like that kind of makes the manager be like, hey, you know what? I ain't gonna push as hard. But just sometimes a simple thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't necessarily have to get us things and everything, but it's just the whole working relationship, man, because it's like trust.
Yeah.
It's a trust thing. It's not, and if you really love the business like I do, it's not really about the money.
Nope.
It's not really about the money. It's about how the actor's receiving what they're getting, the roles that that are really appreciating everything, and being open. The best thing you can do to nurture a relationship is always just be open and honest with your manager and agent. That's all. That's all we ask for, because the worst thing you can do is I'm sitting at home or I'm in my office and I'm typing up something. Hey, Marcus Woods just filmed 3 weeks of so-and-so, just won an award, and I didn't hear nothing about it. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
So that's about all I can really think about is
it helps. I know it helps you guys because y'all work hard. They work. I'm telling you, when he said managers and agents and things, they work really hard. They work really hard for you, and you know y'all get a lot of slack for well I saw such and such book this, why I didn't get this audition, or why you don't even know half the things you're being pitched for. You know, I know I've auditioned for the new Superman that's getting ready to come out. I didn't book it, but the simple fact that I got the audition, I remember when you sent it to me and I was just like, oh, this is dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting those things. Those things you don't see, the things that we don't book. You know what I mean? The things that you send me that I don't post about what I didn't book. But it goes to show that you're really working, though. You know what I mean? You're really working on our behalf. And actors, you got to know this. You got to know that your representation is not like not paying you attention or not looking at you or neglecting you. It's just that, first of all, when you have 30 actors, you know, that's 30 people, 30 different personalities that he's trying to manage, figure out, keep happy. Make sure that when they make a mistake, correct it. Or if they want to quit, which is a thing, actors leave their reps. They'll leave their reps for sometimes for some of the not so smart things. You know what I mean? And then regret it later. This is not a tip. This is not it. I got a question.
Okay.
Has anybody ever left you and came back?
Yeah.
Did you accept them?
No.
Oh,
First
okay.
of all, when they usually when somebody leave, it's like you said, for a very bad reason or whatnot. But if they take that route, 9.5 times out of 10, I'm not trying to go back that way. And respectfully,
Yeah.
You know, I work with some people that are pretty good, but it's like, what's that? Fool me once, shame on me, something like that. Shame on you type deal. I can't do it, you know. So I've had people try to come back, and respectfully, I had to decline.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's crazy. Because how you leave bad and then want to come back? Like, is it are people apologetic, or is it just like, hey, can you take me back? I messed up.
I had people like I'll hook people up with producers, directors. I even get them auditions for stuff. And what happened is maybe the director go directly to them afterwards for another movie and say, hey, you want to do this? And all of a sudden the actor feeling like, hey, I did this myself. And you know, when they say that, I just be like,
yeah, you did.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. And I start slowly backing away because the ego come into it. I even had a actor where we nurtured this guy. We took him all the way to the top. He got a big deal with one of the big companies out there for 2 or 3. Like it was like I can't. I'm trying not to. Trying to watch my words and not put it out there. But he got a big deal. As soon as he got that big deal, one of the bigger agents came. Hey, we can do this now. Now that you're there.
Wow. And
he fell for it. And he was like, hey, I'm gonna go with them.
Wow.
Right when he got the deal.
Wow.
So this is the type of stuff you got to deal with. You got egos. You got people and thinking they can do all this. I'm not saying somebody can't do it on their own, but if a team helped get you there, why would you turn your back on them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So more power to anybody else that's out there. I wish everybody the best, you know, but it's just how the industry is.
And which is crazy, because that's why I said we're rocking, man. We're rocking.
Yeah.
I say that on air and off air, so there's nothing like I'm trying to just big it up. But, you know, I tell you these things. But so, tell people how. I want you to tell people what kind of your actors, like what roles have they booked. Like, you can just name the shows. You ain't got to name what they played, the roles or whatever. But like, I just want people to know who you are and what like type of roles that you're getting, and people are actually booking. Talent is actually booking. So I don't know, name some stations, some, you know.
I mean, from NBC, ABC, Netflix, Hulu.
Yeah.
What's Showtime, HBO. Warner Brothers, Sony. Sheesh. I mean, all the big names. I mean, out there. There's not a network that none of my clients haven't booked on.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
That's amazing. And you know, I just mentioned earlier, Divorce Lawyer. You know, out on Tubi.
You did your thing on that.
Thank you, man. Y'all go check out Divorce Lawyer on Tubi. Watch it. All y'all watch it. But so, how do you feel about how the independent film era is moving through Tubi? Like, is it a market where management representations are like, yo, let's jump in here, grab these talent? Or do you more so look at it that's good practice? Or not that it's terrible work on there. I'm just saying, is it good practice, or does reps keep their hands off?
We look for individual talent.
Okay.
With Tubi, you got to pick and choose your battles, because as with any streaming, you have your bad and you have your good. A lot of times, Tubi doesn't have a good reputation of bringing out good movies, but there are some good movies on Tubi.
Yeah.
So you have to actually look at the performance when it comes down to, picking an actor. What have they done in the past? Is there any other projects? And sometimes you'll get a project with an actor that's really good, but someone who's sharing the scene with them that isn't so good, which will make that scene look bad. Yeah. So you got to know how to spot. Yeah, how to spot those type of actors and what to look out for. So that's about it.
But I'm glad you said it, because I want people to know that they do have eyes. They're watching the actors and talents on there. Yeah. It's just that watch some of the projects that you're doing, because sometimes it could be you could be great in it, but if the film isn't doing so great, you might not get those eyes on you.
And yes, can I say?
Yes, absolutely.
The type of project that you accept can either raise your career or hurt your career. You can be on fire. You can book, like, I'm just use Tubi as an example. You got people that book constant Tubi films, 10 in a row, 13 in a row. But if you're part of bad productions, nobody's gonna really, like, the agents or the reps are not really gonna recognize your skills because of the reputation of the film. So, and then, you know, a lot of times Hollywood will come down. Hollywood ain't in a good spot right now.
No,
but,
no, not at all.
They'll come down on that. So when you're on networks like that, you have to just be aware of what you're submitting for.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's certain roles that you might want to stay away from. There's certain content that you might want to stay away from, unless that's your cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So how do you handle those actors though? Because you said something about Hollywood is not in a good place right now.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that's public knowledge.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Public.
So how do you handle actors that are like coming to you and like I'm not getting no auditions, nothing's coming. What's going on? What do you tell them to do? Or how do you even encourage them?
Be proactive. I mean, do other things. There's other things you can do, because right now, what the industry does, like, you got your high point and then you got your low point. You got times where it's just slow, you're not getting the auditions. You got times where you're bombarded with so many auditions.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is just keep yourself out there. Keep work on accents.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have any accents, start working on one. Work on different languages. Working on dancing, singing.
Yes.
Other things that by the time when it comes back to you auditioning, it's like, hey, I got another check mark for my Actors Access. I know how to do this now.
Yeah.
Now you have more things you can be submitted for. Get new headshots.
Yeah.
Work out. I'm fat right now, but I'm just saying, just things like that. Just get yourself, because you are your investment. You're the product.
Yeah.
So you have to invest in yourself all the way around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that's good, and that's actually the fourth tip. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm gonna just read it to you. It says, "Stay active and accountable." You know what I mean? So,
right.
like you said, getting the headshots, taking the acting classes, doing whatever you got to do to stay sharp. Because just like anything, it comes and it goes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you said, it's going to be hot at one point, auditions left to
Yes.
right, left to right, left to right, and then it's going to have its low periods where it's like you may get one every 3 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you have to stay active. Y'all, this is not just me saying this because y'all used to me saying stuff like this. This is coming from an actual manager who's been in the business, and you heard all of the networks that he was naming and all of the platforms that he's naming that his talent is actually booking on. And so I appreciate you sharing that with everybody, because that's something that I push. Like, take an acting class or accents or learn an instrument. Like, do something. Like, you know, take a martial arts class or self-defense class. Just do something that you can, like you said, check off on that box and say.
Yeah, and even you.
Yeah.
You know, when we were having that slow time, you asked me, you said, what can I do?
Yeah.
And I gave you the same thing. And then the next time I saw you, you built like a tree, man. I'm like, this dude like 5 inches wider than what I saw. I'm like, word.
Not 5 inches. 5 inches wider is crazy.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about 5 inches. No, I'm just playing. So, my bad, man.
No,
my
you
bad.
good, man. You good. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. Like, again, like I say, you care. You know what I'm saying? You care. So it's not just like, just sit down and wait. I'm doing my job. You actually give tips on what's the next thing to do.
Yeah.
And even when we were auditioning, I said, well, how can I audition better without giving all the secret sauce? But you gave those tips. You know what I'm saying? You were just saying, like, go in there. And one thing I can say that he said, which I really do appreciate, he said, man, pray before you do the audition. He said, pray after the audition, and pray when you submit the audition. And
Yes.
I just stop sleeping on prayer. And he would even tell me things like, you know, get into it. Like, I know it's just you and your reader, or sometimes me and you, but he's like, get into the audition. You're here. Really be it. Like the people are in front of you. You know what I'm saying? The casting is sitting right there, and give them that performance. Just those small tips alone, game changers for me.
Yeah.
Game changers for me. Look, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sitting down having this conversation with me. I appreciate you just rocking with me. And like I said, I've never would have got to the next level in my career without you. And he doesn't play. He owed me about headshots. I got to get some new headshots, but he's been on my head. I got to get some new headshots. Then, you know, y'all know what he told me? He said, "Why do you look older in your headshots and younger in person?" I said, "Okay." Now, I guess it was the way I dressed. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I was like, I don't know. But
He gonna show y'all what I'm talking about.
yeah, I am. And then now you're gonna have me go lifting more weight so I can look like The Rock. But no, man, I appreciate like just the insights that you give and you shared. I had an acting class that you showed up to, and you dropped real. And that was earlier this year.
Oh, that was
amazing. So and you dropped some jewels that people came back and told me the next day or reached out in my DMs and said, the fact that you had your manager there and he was just giving knowledge and from a genuine place. Even when we did the monologues there, you were giving your tips and everything like that. Man, it was a good time.
It was a very good time.
It was an interesting time.
And there's some people I met there that I actually want to talk to. I know you've been reaching out. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just busy.
He's not.
Trust me.
Yeah, but no, I appreciate that, man. Like, I really appreciate what you bring. And I got to say this to you, too, because I've been on this thing where you show gratitude and you appreciate people that are in your life. You know what I mean? Because life is so short. You never know what's going to happen. Like, as a man to man, I appreciate the level of care that you have. Because sometimes men just don't know how to show it. You know what I mean? And then in this business where, as a man, your psyche is being played with all the time. Am I short enough? Am I tall enough? Am I too dark? Am I too light? Am I too big? Am I too small? All this stuff is going on top of rejection. Rejection it happens in this business. You still take the time to just be a brother to me, and that means a lot, man. You know what I mean? You even talked to my dad a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good man.
and that's important to me. You know what I mean? That you actually care. And that's why we rock into the wheels for.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get new wheels after that.
Put on spare tires. That's right.
I'm going to spare tires. I got a bonus, and then we're going to leave. Okay. Bonus one is persistence and professionalism. I'm going to read this to you all. Okay. Build habits of discipline. Train your craft daily. Show a positive attitude. And let success come from a consistent action, not entitlement. What do you say to those actors who have that entitlement? Maybe they don't know. Maybe nobody never told them. Like, how do you deal with those type of actors? Or give advice on how they can deal with themselves as far as having, I feel like I should be the guy or the woman for the part.
All right. First and foremost, if you think that you're the best or you're good at what you do, there are, I would say, 20 or 30 more people that are better than you. That's just how the world go.
Yep.
You know, humble. Be humble in what you do. Now, when you come to somebody and say, I think that I deserve this part, then show me. Woo. Then show them.
Yeah.
You know, you got not only me, you got an agent to impress, you got a casting director to impress, you got a production, you got a director, you got a studio. It goes in layers. You know, just being humble and being grateful and then being confident at the same time. Don't be cocky, arrogant. I can do this. I'm better than this person. I know I could have did that role better. A lot of people, they'll audition for a role, don't get it, look at the show and say, oh, man, I did better than that.
Or did you?
Why we didn't get it.
Why you didn't book?
But sometimes it's just because of look.
Yeah.
But you just got to check yourself, check your ego. And, you know, all of us went through it. I went through it. You know, a lot of times where the Almighty would just be like, oh, really? All right, I'm about to show you. That's where you belong. And so you just gotta check yourself. That's all.
And I always tell people there's nothing wrong with thinking that you're the best, right? Yeah. But if you're going and thinking you're the best and nobody's better than you or nobody can that's terrible. Because if you're saying, like, I'll use this for example. I'll say that I know God loves me, right?
Right.
It don't mean He don't love anybody else.
Right.
It's just that I know that He loves me. Doesn't mean that He's not sharing love with nobody else and none of that. I just realize who I am. So I can think I'm the best, but it doesn't mean that I'm better than everybody. I shouldn't be looking down at people. If I'm looking down at you, it should be to pick you back up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, dropping gems.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be to look down on you, but like I'm better than you. You know what I mean? But humble. Be humble. Like you said, really, you ain't even got to look for 20 or 30 people better than you. You can turn to the right and see somebody better than you. They may look better. They could be taller. They may just know how to get in the character. But it could be 1,000 different things. You know what I mean? Yeah. But just master you and figure you out and be disciplined, be persistent, and don't, because you got to come back down at some point.
Thank you for saying that.
You know what I mean? Because if you could rise up and be great, but if you step on a lot of heads on your way, you got to meet those same people on the way down. And God forbid you treated the assistant like trash, and now the assistant is award-winning director. And you get what I mean? It happens with Lawrence Fishburne and John Singleton. He didn't treat them bad, but I'm saying when they were working on Pee-wee's Playhouse, John Singleton was on there. He wasn't a director at the time. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, they got cool. He treated them right. Next thing you know, we got boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So it is. So you got to treat people right. You just got to treat people right. And you got to be humble about it. So yeah, man, that's it. Any encouraging words you want to give to the viewing audience before we check out of here, man? Give me something powerful.
I still want to hit on what you were just saying.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to show how much a nerd I am. Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to watch this show called Yu-Gi-Oh!
With the cards.
So whenever he got into a bad spot and he knew he was about to lose, he was like, I'm gonna believe in the heart of the cards. And he didn't know what he was gonna pull up, but he had that confidence. Like, I'm about to win this duel because I'm about to pull a card that is gonna win.
Yeah.
Be the same way with your acting. Wow. Don't go overconfident, but just be confident. Like, you know what? You about to get a good audition for me. You about to get the best out of me, and just leave it at that.
Wow.
Now, when it comes down to positive words, don't give up. Like I always say, don't give up. Everybody gets so worried about the no's that they're not getting. People will go into a situation where they're not getting auditions, and they say, oh, should I change my agent? Should I change my manager? Just be patient. Yeah. You gotta build your team. What's the point of getting on a team, and then if you're not hitting over 300 those first couple weeks, you want to leave? You gotta nurture. You gotta build yourself. You gotta build your team. Everything. So invest in yourself. Believe in yourself, don't give up, and just be humble. And if you're a religious person, put God first on everything. Come on. Everything you do. Because this business is not controlled by the Almighty. It's controlled by somebody else. So we need to bring the Almighty into that picture. Yeah. And we got the power to do that. So
that's great, man. Benny, man, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate it. And it's so funny that you said about being positive. I got up today and I said, you know what? I say this every day, though. I said, I'm going to get a really good audition today.
And he got one.
And he called, right after we texted about this, making sure we had everything settled, he was like, oh, also, you got an audition today. And I was like, oh, I'm telling you, you can control your mind. Your whatever comes out your mouth, you can control that, and you can bring that to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not going to get into all that. It's been great, man. Bennie Taylor, John Thomas Talent. I'm rocking with you. I'm glad you came out today, man.
Thank you.
And we're going to keep rocking. So before I get out of here, don't forget to go check out Divorce Lawyer on Tubi. It's going to be a great time. Y'all go check that out, and a slew of other movies on there. This is not an arrogant way of saying this. This is how I helped a lot of people. Look, sometimes I forget the name of stuff that I'm in. So if you go on Tubi or on my IMDb, you type my name up, you'll see everything that I'm in, because sometimes I just don't know. Sometimes I forget.
We're good.
It's a good thing. So, but you go in there, type Marcus Woody, and everything will pop up. But I really do want y'all to check out Divorce Lawyer, which again, my manager helped me book, and it was a great time. So y'all check that out, and keep supporting us, keep rocking with us. Don't forget that the YouTube page is up. We're up. This will be aired on YouTube, and so I want y'all to check that out. It has the same name as the program, so as a podcast, so you can find it real easy. And thank you again, Peaches. I thank Peaches all the time. She's not gonna get in front of this camera. She's not gonna do it, but we thank her again for letting us just do this and rocking with the vision that I have. And we're gonna keep going. I'm about to get out your way. In the great words of Denzel Washington, I'll see you at work.
Whoo.